Hello and welcome to Truck Talk Videos Gaming. What do we have here? We have the brand new Vickers VC-10 from Just Flight for FSX and PD 3D. So this aircraft was originally from 1965. That's when it entered service, of course, with British Overseas Airways Corporation, BOAC. This cost me £21.50 because I had the points, the money off. But if you don't have points off, this is £25. I've already done one review of this, but personally I thought I'd do another. This only came out about 4 hours ago, so this is a brand new aircraft from Just Flight. So what did I expect from it? Well, I've been waiting, just like so many other people, for 11 months for this particular aircraft to come out, and I expected most things to be functional. I expected it to be as good as what I thought it would be, or should I say I thought it would be as good as the TriStar that they got out. And that was in 2013, but they have done a TriStar Professional since then. And basically the TriStar Professional is that the Copilot talks to you on takeoff, calls out your speed, calls out V1, V2 rotate, and everything, every button, knob and switch is clickable on the Flight Engineers Station. So without further ado, this is the Flight Engineers Station. If I remember correctly how to work these buttons, then so that is the Flight Engineers Station. I will show it you in depth in a moment. You're probably wondering, why is the throttles where the in-flight engineer sits? Well, that's to do with the 1960s technology, and that is to do that on long flights, because these aircraft generally went to Africa, flew on the African routes, that usually they would fly for so long and the pilots would have a nap. Yes, they would have a sleep. And the in-flight engineer would obviously be monitoring his gauges at the back there, and he could change the throttles. So he could change the speed when they were asleep, a bit like in the short Belfast massive Royal Air Force freighter. So what's this panel? This is the Navigational Station. The only problem is it's very disappointing, and the problem is none of this is clickable. None of this, none of this, none of this even. This button here, that button is clickable, and that button is Doppler changeover knob Doppler 1. And I imagine that's for the radar, which is here. You also get a few here. Now this is all just cosmetic, which is such a shame, but it is. We appear to be banking, so we'll just It's such a heavy aircraft. For an old aircraft, every old aircraft was a heavy aircraft to turn. Obviously no you know, no fly-by-wire system like they have today, no clever computers. So, you know, in modern aviation, that does look a bit strange. But as soon as you move that, then of course the fourth throttle over here will move back. Right, this is a better view of the engineer station for you. That is, and look at all that. That is all the flight engineer's station, and I think what you'd be surprised with is most of it actually works. Most of them buttons are clickable. The switch guards, more, I need to speak a bit more clearly. These red things here, once you open them, you can pull a button one way or another, and if you switch the guard, push it down, so you'd click it again, it would go down. The switch underneath wouldn't actually go down with it, whereas on old Just Flight products, you used to switch it on, and as soon as you lowered the gauge, it would go off. But on this brand new system, because it is updated technology and the graphics are way better than what they have been, if you have TriStar Professional, then an engineer's panel will be familiar. But did you know that Just Flight are bringing out VC-10 Professional next year? Which means everything on this panel will work. And 9 things out of 10 do work. It's literally this bit here that doesn't work, nor this bit. All this is fully functioning. All this here as well. See the fingers there? See the hand? That's all clickable. This bit, for some reason, isn't. Now, I don't know if they're just screws, but then, I'm guessing, they would have to leave so much that isn't clickable for, of course, when they come in and do their professional, then everything's clickable. And, of course, your Copilot might speak and a few other bonuses there. So this is the back wall of the engineers panel. They do work. Both of them do work. And of course them up there work. And that's the view from his seat. So all this is clickable. You can jettison fuel as well. And you can also see, when I zoom it out. So this is your Copilot's view of the world and of the flight deck. So pretty roomy flight deck. As I said, most buttons do work. 9 out of 10 work on there. And as far as I know, I've just been testing it, they all work on here. So that's a good panel to have. From the captain's point of view, you have a weather radar there. Whether that changes in bad weather, I haven't checked yet. Nose wheel steering works. Nothing over here works. Your window, well, I tried that on the previous video, and it looks like it opens, but it only opens on the ground. So like you'd pull it, and you slide it back, just like on so many of the old jets. What they are for, I actually don't know. The wipers do work, by the way, so we'll just... I've got an idea. So this is the Copilot Swiper. Switch it on. And as you can see, it works. And with that, look at the sway of it. This bit here, this bit, the sway of it, is just like, you know, other flight simulators. Just like other companies that do flight simulators. So this is your landing gear. That's what you hear. That's your gear coming down. Very sleek. Time to raise that again. Over the mountains. So what happens if you storm? Well, of course, more than likely you'll go down. But the thing is unlike the Boeing 727 that has the stick shaker, this one actually doesn't do that. So that's your autopilot off. It sounds like that, just like the Boeing. So shall we try and stall it just to show you what it sounds like, so you can hear the sound. So we're on full throttle. Throttles are now been cut. Hear that? Come on, you have to wake up when that comes on. It seems like a 50 caliber machine gun on unloading full ammunition. Beautiful sound from the Rolls-Royce Conways, don't you think? At Bruntingthorpe earlier this year, back in August, I had the pleasure to go inside a VC-10, the Royal Air Force variant, the refuelling one, and I got to sit in the flight engineer's seat, which is an absolute dream come true, because even though I am doing my flying lessons now in the little Cessnas, I've always wanted to become an in-flight engineer. That still is my dream job. The only problem is you have to have a lot of qualifications and know your maths. What can I say? I'm not good at maths. I hate maths. So that flight engineer's station, the gauges are all on my calendar next May. And when this thing went rolling down the runway at Bruntingthorpe for the high-speed taxi run, the noise was deafening. We actually forgot the earphones that day, the ear defenders, should I say. And the sound is unique. It sounds just like a real VC-10. I imagine the sounds are recorded off a real VC-10. So what else is there to show you? Well, I've actually sat there. That's what there is to show you. What I will do is I'll show you a few more different views. So generally, most things work. Generally. We're at overspeed now, so just cut that throttle. I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, we're not going to hit them mountains anytime soon, I assure you. I'm the captain, I know. No, I'm not. I'm the flight engineer. I know what I'm doing. That door is very small, by the way. Yes, it is. It's a bit like a C-47. The bulkhead is very, very small. It was small. I just had trouble getting through it. It was that narrow. So, what works on your engineer's station? Well, first of all these down here, it's engine ignition, by the way. All these down here, these do work. These throttles work as well. These work down here, these switches. I'm also very happy to report that this section here appears to be all working. This section there works. This section does too. You can click them at will. So this section here, this also works. So this section, nothing on this section though. on here or here works. So obviously they're leaving that for the professional. Did you hear that then? I actually thought it was one of our engines going then. I don't really want it stolen on me. Last time we tested out the flaps, so we're going to test them out again. Okay. So, this works up here, and so do all these buttons. These do too. As I said, when you push that, the light stays on because the switch behind it, as soon as you press it down, does not go off, unlike on the older Just Flight aircraft with a flight engineer's panel. And then you've got your fuel jettison here, which we're just going to test out now if we can see any smoke. We can, it seems like we can. The mountains of Seattle look very nice today, as long as we don't crash into them, of course. But remember, this airline, the captains were with the airline for about 20 years as an engineer, as a co-pilot before you could become captain. So, come on, very, very experienced. I can't see even outside. Wow. It does sound like somebody's brought wind, doesn't it? I assure you, it's not me. So let's jump back inside. I can't see any plumes of white smoke, which is a fuel jettison, fuel dump, which is a shame. Now in this kind of situation you have to point the nose down, but remember, terrain, because of the mountains. Just like landing in Austria at Innsbruck. We're going straight down now, so let's reduce. You can even hear the engines changing. Let's put throttles half away. Okay. So, what are we expecting from this? Well, as it's Just Flight, I knew that there'd be a few gauges and switches on the engineer's panel that wouldn't work. But we've got a whole lot to look forward to. We have the Royal Air Force package to come out, which is basically to do with the transport variant and of course the famous K2 tanker. We have also got the professional, which will make every single system on this aircraft functionable. Every gauge, every knob, every switch will work. So that's something to look forward to in 2018. This is the flaps here. I told you I was going to show you. Okay, that's full flaps. Let's just take a view of outside now. That's full. Hear that? That's to say there's a problem, there is something wrong. Well, there is, because the flaps are all the way down. So, your textures. What do we get here? Well, the textures, you can see, are very, very, very good. Very good. I hear it has a full fire extinguisher system as well. I like doing engine fires to test if I can land them with an engine or two out. Now on this, you can easily get two engines out and see how it performs. I mean, we're in a steep dive here. It's performing flawlessly. But it has something else that it's going to measure with though as well, and I haven't shown you it yet. So as soon as we get out of this dive, let's get out of this dive, we are coming up to a nice lake. Then let's turn auto off and then put it on again. Not sure where auto hold is, but let's just put it on. And then let me show you the pièce de résistance. Show you the pièce de résistance there. Have a look at the crew. We've got co-pilot, captain, and for the first time an in-flight engineer. You can actually see his hand, which is just amazing. That wiper is working. Look at that. As far as I know, that's on slow. When it goes on fast, it'll work, of course, even better. And you can actually see the flight engineer there, which is, for Just Flight, they've really gone to town on this. This is why it's took them about 11 months to, to make this. And I've wanted a VC-10 on here ever since I got Flight Simulator X. That was back in February 2012. So a good few years. To me, this is a rival with Captain Sim's Boeing 727, which to me is the best aircraft you can buy for Flight Simulator X. The thing is though, going back to Just Flight, I've probably got more Just Flight products on my Flight Simulator X than Coronado, which I'm a very, very big fan of, than Captain Sim, than, of course, other brands. But this one is the best yet to come out of Just Flight. The Just Flight team have done an absolutely tremendous job. It's fantastic. I really do take my hat off to them. That's my favourite view, of course. They've done something that looks just like the real thing. When you zoom in, the textures look just like the real thing. Most things on the flight engineers panel works. They haven't just thought, people don't care about the flight engineer. People don't care about being the flight engineer. For more realism, let's copy off our DC-10, which we did in 2008. No engineers panel. And then they got an upgrade in about 2015. And I've got that one. I haven't done a review on it yet, but fantastic. You get all of the engineers station. Not everything works, but nevertheless you can still sit in that in-flight engineers station, work the stuff on the panel, just like in this VC-10. And that's what I love. I love how nowadays they don't overlook stuff like that. They know that people want to be in-flight engineers. They know that to start it up they have to have an in-flight engineers panel, a working one, and I really do love that. I mean, yes, come on, the weather radar might not work. It might not have plumes of smoke when you jettison the fuel out the back. You know, a good few gauges on the engineer's station on the panel might not work. There might only be one clickable button on the navigator's panel, but so what? So what? This is just an excellent aircraft, and if I was you to add this to your hangar, I honestly think go on Just Flight's website, click it, follow the link to the download, because you will absolutely love this aircraft. I mean, I've been flying this aircraft now for about an hour, making a few videos on this, and it's just like the 727. I fell in love with it. It's beautiful, and when I do get the yoke from America, my new yoke, because this one was broke, then you're looking in about just less than a week's time, I'll be able to land this. And I'm also going to get Manchester X from it's actually Aerosoft, but they have it on the Just Flight website. I'm going to get that, and we're going to do a landing at Manchester. And yeah, my heart really goes out to the team, because the aircraft works. There's no doubt about it. It does exactly what you want it to do, and of course it's British. So, you know, it's fantastic. So, as well as getting all them instruments, clickable dials, knobs, switches for your £25, and as I say, a lot better textures, of course, on the seats. It is wear and tear. They have done it wear and tear, as you can see. You know, the paint is scuffed, is scratched off a little. The altimeter works just fine, as you can see. Everything is great. So when you click off that, remember that was Friday Harbour, Seattle, Washington, America. That's a Boeing 737-800 next generation flight deck, by the way. I got to go in it when I was at Dublin Airport last December. The flight deck. So, of course, this is so familiar to Flight Simulator X players. I do have the Steam Edition as well. This is available on Prepare 3D. It's available on Flight Simulator X Steam Edition as well, and of course it's available on the normal Flight Simulator X. So what do you get? Well, this is the Vickers VC-10 BOAC, the one that I've just been flying, circa 1964. That was when my Uncle Gage was born, that year, so that you could say, why not fly that every time? Then you get your Vickers British Airways, Golf Alpha Romeo Victor Mike. Then you get British Airways circa 1976, that's Golf Alpha Romeo Victor Charlie. Then you get your Vickers Viscount, your Vickers VC-10, BOAC, circa 1974, Golf Alpha Romeo Victor Charlie. Then you get BOAC, circa 1966, Golf Alpha Romeo Victor Charlie. Remember though, the BOAC actually teamed up with Cunard, which Cunard is the shipping giant, of course, and they used to fly cruise ship passengers to Bermuda or different destinations around the globe, and they used to advertise for them because that's what they used to fly on. BOAC would fly you from London, Heathrow, over to the Bahamas, Caribbean, wherever. Then you get on a Cunard ship, you dock somewhere else, maybe in Florida, maybe in New York, somewhere like that, and then you get back on the VC-10, it'd fly you home. So that was a package, I imagine, back in the day. You also get Nigeria Airways. The registration on that is 5 November Alpha Bravo Delta. Then you get United Arab Emirates, Golf Alpha Romeo Victor Foxtrot. So that would obviously be on a ferry flight, a delivery flight. Then you get Gonfer circa 1975, Alpha 40 Victor Kilo. Then you get Gonfer circa 1977, very nice livery on that one. And you get the Just Flight one. And this one, by the way, is actually the government. As far as I know, it's the government one, so it's the VIP variant of the United Arab Emirates. So very nice. And I think we should finish. I really think we should finish, if we can, with the Just Flight variant, because the designers, what a team. What a team. With their software and everything. Quick. There you can have the in-house paint job as well. So if you feel like you want to be a test pilot for Just Flight, wait no longer, because you can. Truck Talk videos, gaming out. Ta-da, folks.